Child victim to survivor. The innocence of a child will not allow their mind to comprehend what terror is being put upon them during abuse. They can no more think about killing their abuser than they can a fly. It worsens when the child knows the abuser because they have a love and trust that is so innocent, that they cannot mistrust. This is where the confusion is set deep into their psyche, causing them to have conflicts with feelings throughout their life. In place of learning love through hugs and smiles, they are taught love through sexual abuse and threats. They have already learned that the world is not safe. Children quickly learn through instinct to remove their minds from their bodies. They also can manipulate their bodies to go numb in order to not feel any physical contact with the abuser. Abused children are also taught to mistrust any form of verbal love and appreciation. The abuser will tell them things like, "Daddy loves you and wants to show you how much," or "I am teaching you what Daddy teaches their daughters so that you will grow up and know how to be a good woman." So much deception and lies from someone that a child holds dear to their heart. To doubt their abuser when it is their father, only makes them feel like a bad child. They know that their father wants them to love them and smile for them. This makes Daddy happy. It is what every child is naturally driven to do. They thrive on their parents' smiles and happy feelings. This is the exact thing that an abuser takes advantage of and also poisons through the abuse they inflict on the child. The child will also think of two identities if the abuser is her father or her uncle. She will think simply in two parts. Good daddy, bad daddy. This helps her to keep her good daddy image safe, where he is supposed to be. The second daddy will be a figure in a bad dream, not real to her world at all. A child may turn to draw pictures of her good daddy and bad daddy. Or write very obscure, negative, even offensive poems or stories. These are true signs and most certainly cries for help. Please do not ever underestimate the power of the pen. It will either be a cry for help from someone that cannot use words, or it could be the key to one's doors of healing. When the abuser is a family member, this factor alone robs the child of what would be known as a safe nest. The child will never know what a healthy role model is. Nor will this child ever have the experience of innocent nurturing. Unless this child, through years of growth, learns to identify with their abuser and confront the abuse, their healing will never begin. Without this inner healing and peace, one is likely to repeat this horrible act of abuse that they were led to believe to be a common practice in parenting. Victims have no choice but to survive. If they do not commit suicide, they learn to cope. These are common coping strategies. No, they are not good ones, but for most of the victims that choose that road, it's the better of the two evils. Other victims choose to forget it ever happened, downplay the abuse or rationalize it as if it were nothing more than a simple hug or touch. They even go as far as excusing their abuser's actions or temper, saying they was drunk or too stressed out from working. Victims will even try to understand and feel sorrow for their abusers. Anything to not accuse them and have to deal with the confusion of the whys. Some even become so withdrawn into themselves, fearing that they may talk too much, or give a clue to someone about their nightmare. Then all their shame will be seen. So they choose silence instead of risk. Denial is another way of facing the reality. But denial has a way of twisting around and returning with a vengeance. Not allowing your pain to come up front so you can deal with it, only gives it more time to grow inside of you and get a stronger hold of your mind. Reality and fantasy will also get confused at this point. People will confuse your actions and words with mental illness. Then not only will you have your abuser to contend with, but now others will be trying to force you into another victim situation. Yes, you have done whatever it took to survive this horrible abuse, so now rise above it. It was nothing more than a cause and effect battle. A battle that you have overcome. I continue to show you patterns that are caused by neglecting yourself and allowing yourself to be totally absorbed by an action that was never in your control. Now it is in your control. Now you can do something about it. So, what are you waiting for? Fight. Fight like you are trying to save the life of someone dear to you. Fight like a master and use your power to say, "Go to hell." Scream this as loud as you can, "I see you, I hear you, and I will not allow you to abuse me any longer." You must feel the freedom that comes with this new fight that is awakening inside you. Once the fight is over, you will live a new life. A new book has just been written.